Good evening, everybody. I'm Kaustubh Sharma. I work with the Snow Leopard Trust as a senior regional ecologist, and I'm right now speaking to you from New Delhi, India. I believe it's not as much fun talking to you from such great distance, so I decided to virtually hover over the Woodland Park Zoo. And when I was told about talking to all of you, I thought it would be fun if I could take you along to where we went for a recent trip to Sarichat Airtash Reserve in Kyrgyzstan. And it's only about 10,000 miles away from where we are. So, not a problem. We can do it in a couple of seconds. Here we are. Halfway across the world from where we are right now, situated in the Tian Shan Mountains, Sarichat Reserve is a fine snow leopard habitat. We were there to survey the mountains for about a week and train the rangers to set up several research cameras that would then let snow leopards take their own pictures in the days to come. Not just snow leopards, but various other animals as well. It was a special trip for me because for the first time I was going to cover most of the distance not hiking. Instead, I was to ride Pajero, not the four-wheeled one, but the four-legged one. And it was one of the most amazing rides I have ever been in control of. Definitely better than the four-wheeled ones. To get to the base camp, we had to walk about 17 kilometers. Not just that, we had to cross a pass which was at about 4,000 meters above sea level. Our ride to the horses to the base camp was leisurely, for the sun was out and so were the animals. In fact, we counted hundreds of argali on our way. These horses are the coolest all-terrain bikes with an autopilot function. They not only go almost everywhere, but they also maneuver and navigate without having the rider to keep looking ahead all the time. In other words, they let you see a lot of the landscape and wilderness than a bike would. We surveyed the mountains for about 1 week before deciding to return on the morning of April the 3rd. So we were waiting for Brad, who was soon to bring along the big consignment of the remaining cameras that Kuban and his team would subsequently set up in the field. The trip back, however, turned out to be a bit adventurous. We started walking in the morning, set up a couple of additional cameras before we started climbing the pass. That is when things started to look a bit ominous. In a few minutes, wind started blowing with speeds greater than 100 kilometers per hour and brought with them my first ever snowstorm on horseback. From up to more than 2 or 3 kilometers, our visibility had reduced to only about 20 to 30 meters. Despite the cold, windy snowstorm, these rockstar horses kept going. It was scary, but for some reason Kuban and I kept laughing at each other, taking selfies. In a few minutes' time, I was wearing ice earrings and an ice crown. Had I been 1,000 times prettier, I would have perhaps looked like one of those pageant winners for that little moment. To match my ornamentation, Mr. Pajero looked like the T-800 of Terminator 2. The snowstorm lasted almost 4 to 5 hours, nearly the time it took us to cross the pass. I think we bonded well during this intriguing snowstorm, for once we were in the valley, Pajero began to understand me telepathically. Later, once Brad got all the remaining cameras, our team set up more than 30 cameras in about 1,000 square kilometer area. These cameras remained in the field for several weeks, taking pictures of anything that moved in front of them, as long as it was warm-bodied. The snow leopard pictures obtained from these camera traps would help us estimate their population. The camera traps in Kyrgyzstan have got us some incredible pictures, resulting in fascinating insights into their secret world. Before I sign off, just to let you know, there's more to come from our magical research cameras. Kuban and his team are going to repeat this exercise at least once every year in the same area. It is then that these cameras will start informing us about survival, life expectancy, migration, and various other population parameters. Thank you very much for coming here tonight. Thank you for making this work possible and for supporting snow leopard research. Wish you a very good night.